Hey man, I'm Bronson, and I wanted to give you a quick announcement about the Crucible of War red Flack in the booster packs that you might see. Now, to give you a quick summary, if you're open booster packs from Crucible of War, mainly the first wave, it does seem like there's some red Flack inside of the pack in between the cards, and I definitely think that this should be sleeved and kept into the corner and kept long term because you don't know what's going to happen in the future if this might be collectible. Now, to give you kind of a rundown, so basically, this is the biggest piece of Flack that I've gotten. So it can range up to this big, but also sometimes, let me see if I have a card like this, you could get really small pieces. So in a booster box, I just opened, I think I received maybe 5 pieces of red Flack. So it's just definitely something to keep an eye out. If you see, just put it in a sleeve and hold it off to the side. I'm not going to give like speculation or whatever, in the future of what could happen. Honestly, people could like really not give a shit about this, or people could be like, oh wow, that seems really cool to collect. I would love to get this type, because there is definitely a misprint type oddities market that this could fall into, and I wanted you to be aware. Now, to give you an example of where it would be, where to locate the Flack and how to find it. So if you open a Crucible of War pack like this, you'll notice in the back, so these are your rare cards, or the one is the majestic slot. In between the foil and this, you'll find the Flack. So what I do is when I open a pack, I will very gently rub this back and forth, the back card, and if you feel something rolling around, you probably have some Flack, and then you can look and see. I mean, you could look regardless, but essentially where it is it's in between the foil card and this back card. Just, it's really in that's like where I've spotted it like 100% of the time. And again, it can range really from like big pieces to small pieces. So some it's even hard for me to find later on. Like this one, it's like you can barely see it on that screen. It's like covering in the D of flesh and blood. Let's see if I can find any others. Yeah, so this one as well, you can see that it has a really small piece. Now, again, this really could be nothing at the end of the day. People could really not care. But I think what could happen in the future is, if there's a story behind this, if there's some sort of like provenance, as they say in the art world, where an announcement comes out that something happened in the Crucible War batch, where the printers in Cardamundi, something happened to them, that could add some collectability to this thing. And I feel like a lot of people out there, including myself, before I knew about this, I would see a little Flack on the card and I would just do this. I would just flick it off and be like, well, there we go, that fixes it. And again, it really doesn't damage the card in any way. It really hasn't done anything like that. It's just, it seems like there's a little piece of little debris or Flack, I'm calling red Flack, that are in the packs that, in my opinion, I think could be collectible long term, especially since I feel like nobody really knows about it. So essentially, a lot of people currently are just literally flicking it off, whereas if you keep it in a a sealed thing like this, you could definitely you never know what's going to happen long term to the collectability, and mine as well. You can turn like a 25-cent card into something that might have more value, and that could have a future story. Anyway, just want to give you a quick announcement. I'll make a video later on when I know more about this topic. I just wanted to pump out a really quick video so you could understand what's going on, and to make sure you know what to look out for, and so you can actually sleeve it up and protect it long term instead of not having it. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good one.